through the Nevada Department of Health and Human Services, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
101.5 FM KDAWN.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
Good morning, Las Vegas. What's going on? Oh, baby, I'll tell you what, we are getting close. AEW, Double or Nothing, coming up next weekend. Man, this is getting exciting. Always fun to have AEW in town. Of course, Collision next Saturday. And AEW Double or Nothing at the MGM Grand Garden Arena coming up here. Oh, it's going to be a great weekend. And a lot of other activities, of course, as well. Lots of fun, to say the least, here in Vegas. It's going to be another terrific pro wrestling weekend, and we're going to have it all covered for you here on the Mark Hoke Show. Of course, we got to have a very special guest in studio. We're going to hear from him. That would be Anthony Bowens from the Acclaimed. That's right. Scissor Party in the KDAWN studios. Oh, wait till you see this one. And if you're not watching on our live stream on YouTube and Facebook, oh, you're going to miss it. But we'll have it posted for you. But I'd suggest checking it out right now. And, of course, we do stream this show. So if you want to see what's happening and get in the chat box and say hi, you're more than welcome to do that. We'd love to get your comments about everything happening, so get in there too. And, of course, we're also on that Odyssey app, so you can listen to our show and all the great shows on KDAWN. Just download that app to your phone right now. It's terrific. Unbelievable. So download the Odyssey app here on KDAWN. Yeah, it's a Double or Nothing looking good. Should be a great card as that thing's stacking up as well. And by the way, we also have another unbelievable guest, and I cannot begin to tell you how excited I am. Hour number 2, we're going to hear from, well, he is in the WWE Hall of Fame, of course, along with his family, and a very personal interview for me. And we'll get into that a little more in the next hour. But I cannot begin to tell you what it meant to me to get to interview one of the greats. And it's one of those times where, we were trying to work this out for quite a while, and there's a few guys that were on my list when I first started doing this show that I wanted to get to talk to, and it was in my top 3, and I cannot begin to tell you how great this was, the experience that I got to have with Kevin Von Erich. That's right. Kevin Von Erich took a little time this week as well to sit down with us, and we're going to hear from him in hour number 2. So you Von Erich fans out there, and any of you guys who were watching wrestling, back in the 70s and 80s, you know the Von Erichs. And of course, you know the story from the Iron Claw, the movie that just came out back in December. And you are not going to want to miss this conversation. I cannot begin to tell you how deep this got with Kevin, and it was pretty special. And, we had some pretty good moments with Anthony as well. There's going to be a lot of ups and downs throughout this show. And it's going to be one I'm very proud of, and I'm looking forward to bringing it to you here on KDAWN. So I hope you stick around and get to listen to this. And, of course, it's all going to be posted on our podcast, markhokeshow.podbean.com, and on YouTube as well. So, but I really hope you enjoy this. It meant the world to me, especially to get to talk to Kevin. So hour 2, Kevin Von Erich will be on the show. So tune on in. Stay. I'm sure you're going to have a great Sunday morning with us, and I promise it's going to be worth your time, to say the least. Well, of course, Double or Nothing in Vegas. And, don't forget, by the way, on Friday, Nigel McGuinness is doing his magic show over at the Ahern. And Nick and Ryan Nemeth are going to be doing their comedy show over at the Nerd. So make sure you check those out. All those tickets are available on Eventbrite. I'm looking forward to checking those out. So, make sure you get over to those shows as well. They're a lot of fun, and I can't wait to see those. So maybe we'll see you over at both of those on Friday as we get ready for that. And of course, Collision and Double or Nothing. That card, oh man, it is starting to load up. And of course, there's going to be another pay-per-view as well. Premium live event for WWE as King and Queen of the Ring is heating up. They are down to the semifinals of that tournament. Got some interesting possibilities. I gotta give WWE credit, even though they did kind of a lame-o in the women's side. The men's side, very intriguing. Very intriguing. Because there are, obviously there's some different possibilities, but there's two that we're going to talk about that could happen. And I'm excited about either way if they go that route. But we'll see. The King and Queen of the Ring coming up from Saudi Arabia. That airs Saturday morning at 10 a.m. So get ready for those of you that if you're you're married or you have a significant other that is into wrestling, well, guess what? You are a widow or widower for the entire weekend. Tough break. Because it's going to be a busy Memorial Day weekend. But should be something else. Great time. But Double or Nothing, let's take a look real quick at the card before we get into what's going on with Anthony Bowens. If you haven't seen the updated card at this point, Willow Nightingale will be defending her TBS championship against Mercedes Moné. Roderick Strong defends against his AEW International Championship against Will Ospreay, who, by the way, looks like he'll be in the KDAWN studios. We're going to be interviewing him, I believe, on Friday. So you'll get to hear from him on Sunday's show next week. That's going to be great. Toni Storm will be defending her AEW Women's Championship against Serena Deeb. Swerve Strickland takes on Christian Cage, and boy, did that get personal. Of course, Swerve defending that AEW World Championship against Christian. The Elite, which is Okada, Jack Perry, and Matthew and Nicholas Jackson. Excuse me, guys. Will be taking on Team AEW, Bryan Danielson, Cash Wheeler, Dax Harwood, and now Darby Allin. We're going to talk about that in that Anarchy in the Arena match. Adam Copeland defends the TNT Championship against Malachi Black in a barbed wire steel cage match. Jon Moxley takes on Kensuke Takeshita in an IWGP World Heavyweight Championship eliminator match. So if Takeshita wins, he gets a shot at Mox. Trent Beretta takes on Orange Cassidy, and Chris Jericho will face the winner of an eliminator match for the FTW Championship. So we'll get to talk about that one as well. But if it's not Hook, I'm going to be stunned. But should be a great card, and I'm sure there's going to be a couple more matches added to that as well. So brace yourselves, because Double or Nothing going to be great, and you get those tickets at AEW Tix or Ticketmaster. But it's going to be an outstanding Sunday. I know there's not too many left. I took a look right before I interviewed Anthony Bowens on Friday, and not too much hanging around. So you're going to get your tickets for that pretty quickly. It's going to be a terrific show. All right. And I'll tell you what, speaking of that terrific show, we're going to take our first break, because when we get back, we're going to hear from Anthony Bowens of the Acclaimed, what he's got going on and what he's been through in his career and what's coming up with Double or Nothing. And there may have been a scissor party in the KDAWN studios. So stick around, everybody. We've got a whole lot more on the Mark Hoke Show. We will be right back.
Thanks for calling Toyota. This is Jan.
I just adopted a new best friend, and I'm looking for a Toyota so we can make the most out of summer.
With a new RAV4, you can take your pup for a drive up the coast. You can take a Prius to the park, or you can take a Tundra to kayak at a remote lake.
One problem, Jan.
Oh?
My new best friend's a cat.
Your summer starts here, but it all ends June 3rd. Toyota, let's go places. Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details.
Visit your Southern Nevada Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places.
Hey, Nevadans, prescriptions can be expensive. Let the Array RX discount card be your solution. Now available to all Nevada residents. Simply sign up for free, show your pharmacist your digital card, and save money. Receive discounts of up to 80% on certain medications. There are no age or income restrictions, and it only takes a minute to enroll. Visit ArrayRxCard.com to learn more and sign up today.
This message funded by a grant through the Nevada Department of Health and Human Services, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
The LGBTQ Center of Las Vegas provides a range of health and wellness services in a safe and non-judgmental environment. You can get fast and comprehensive HIV testing, as well as screening for STIs for little to no cost. Appointments are recommended, but walk-ins are welcome. Located in the heart of Las Vegas near downtown, the center also provides an on-site pharmacy. Get more information at thecenterlv.org. This message is sponsored by a grant through the Sands Corporation, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
You're pregnant, and no matter what you do, no matter what you try, you can't stop using alcohol, drugs, or tobacco. But no matter how lost you are, how far along you are, it's not too late. There's always hope, and there are many safe places that can help you stop using. In Nevada, pregnant women are given the highest priority for substance use treatment. Low-cost treatment options may be available so you and your baby can get healthy now. If you or someone you love is pregnant or thinking about getting pregnant and using alcohol, drugs, or tobacco, visit SoberMomsHealthyBabies.org or call 211 to find help today. SoberMomsHealthyBabies.org also has resources for healthcare providers, friends, and family. If you want to help someone who's pregnant and using, visit SoberMomsHealthyBabies.org or call 211 today. Sponsored by the Nevada Division of Public and Behavioral Health and in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
For 30 years, the LGBTQ Center of Nevada has been a safe and welcoming place to celebrate and serve the entire community. The center advocates for the empowerment and safety of everyone. It provides wellness services for better mental, physical, and holistic health. And the center connects people to the community. Learn more at thecenterlv.org. This message is sponsored by a grant through the Sands Corporation, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
1015 FM KDAWN.
This is the Mark Hoke Show.
The Mark Hoke Show.
Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 1015 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. You guys out at EDC, wake up! Or maybe if you haven't gone to sleep yet, those are your pro wrestling fans. Welcome to Las Vegas. Welcome back. Hope you're having a good, safe time up there, not doing anything too stupid. Crazy, yes, stupid. But having an awesome time here. The best in pro wrestling news and entertainment on the Mark Hoke Show. We certainly do appreciate you tuning in. And it is time. We are going to hear from, of course, one of the former co-holders of the AEW World Tag Team Championships, the AEW Trios Championship, and a pretty fascinating guy. Pretty thrilled to have him come down to the AEW studios. A couple of years ago, I got to interview his partner, Max Caster. But now we get to hear from the man himself, Anthony Bowens of the Acclaimed. So what do you say we get that rolling? Let's hear from the man himself, Anthony Bowens. All right, everyone, and we are very excited. Of course, we're getting ready for AEW Double or Nothing and Collision coming back to Las Vegas here over Memorial Day weekend, and I cannot begin to tell you how thrilled I am to have this guy in the KDAWN studios, one of my personal favorites, because not only me, but everybody loves the Acclaimed. Anthony Bowens in studio. Anthony, how are you today, my friend?
I am fantastic because I'm here in Vegas, baby.
Oh, you can't beat it.
Absolutely.
You know, why is it that whenever time you guys come in here, you never want to leave?
I think a lot of the guys have a lot of fun here.
I can't imagine why.
We just sit around and, we tell good stories, drink water, watch wrestling, and then go over the fact that we just had an amazing, incredible show that you all can attend next weekend. Actually, you can attend 2 of them back-to-back nights, Saturday night, May 25th, Sunday night, May 26th. We got All Elite Wrestling Collision live on TNT at the MGM Garden Casino Arena, and then the following night, we're on pay-per-view live all over the world. It's All Elite Wrestling Double or Nothing. One of the biggest pay-per-views of the year that you could be a part of, AEWTix.com.
I cannot wait. It is going to be an absolutely sensational weekend. It's always fun. I love Double or Nothing. It has been just a staple on the AEW calendar for, since the whole thing got rolling. It's a very special weekend for AEW, no doubt about that.
Yeah, I mean, Double or Nothing has basically had a residency in Las Vegas since 2019, so it's something to look forward to every single year, and we're just really excited to be back.
So, of course, you guys, the Acclaimed with Max Caster and former AEW World Tag Team Champions, and then, of course, with Billy Gunn, the AEW Trios Championship. And unfortunately, you guys just lost that, which was a shame.
Had to bring that up.
Well, hey, but, I'm building the resume for our people that don't know, because,
Sure.
we play this on our Sports X radio show as well. So getting everybody familiar with you, but very talented group of guys you are. And, it's been a hell of a run for you guys in AEW. It's, the evolution of what you and Max have done, pretty darn impressive, Anthony, to say the least.
It has been a jam-packed last couple of years for Max and I, and Billy, too. It's been unbelievable, to be honest with you. The tag team titles, the trios titles, the biggest scissor party on earth live in front of 80,000 people, over 80,000 people at Wembley Stadium last year at All In. It's really, really, really hard to process, to be quite honest with you. But the Acclaim train keeps rolling on, and you never know what's going to be coming next.
What was it like getting to be in front of that big of a crowd? I can't imagine performing in the front of those many people.
Again, it's so hard to process. 1 minute you're backstage going, all right, I need this music to hit, and the next thing you know, people are going crazy, and you're standing in front of just a sea of humanity. And I'll always remember it. It is one of the craziest nights of my life. I dubbed it the biggest scissor party on earth, which is the scissoring, or the scissor is the Acclaim's handshake, which for the stream, here you go. This is the special handshake. I tell everybody to throw their scissors up in the air and to look around and see that many people have their fingers in the air, and their foam fingers and the custom scissors that they bring to support us. It was mind-blowing.
It's absolutely incredible. And to be working with Billy Gunn, who just turned 60 a little while ago.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was at the Rolling Stones concert here last weekend. Those guys are 80, and to see Billy at 60 doing what he's doing and being such a legend, how did that all come about? I mean, and to be working with him, it must be just an awe-inspiring experience every day to get that chance.
Yeah, Billy was one of my figure fed champion. Like, his action figure was the champion of my wrestling figure federation, and now I had the honor of being able to be his tag team partner, to be under his learning tree, to be a champion with him. It came about because at one point we were friends with his sons, and we felt like we had a good chemistry together. We decided to join a group. I happened to be hurt at the time. I was in a wheelchair, and Billy was pushing me around, and people started to pick up on the fact how annoying his kids were, but they loved us. And it seemed like Billy thought the same way too. And eventually that all boiled over. The jealousy boiled over. His kids betrayed him. We accepted Billy as our father, and it was off and running from there.
Is this all done yet? I can't imagine this thing's finished, is it?
I mean, they just betrayed us again before and took our titles away. So I think it's kind of like that Batman Joker vibe where we're just going to have to fight forever.
That's fine. I'd love to see it. I mean, these matches have been fantastic. I mean, you guys, there's a great chemistry between all of you.
There is. Unfortunately, there is. And that's as much credit as I will give those two.
All right. That's fair.
Yeah. That's all they deserve. They deserve nothing more.
Of course, your journey has been absolutely incredible. And one part of it has been your sexuality and talking about being openly gay in professional wrestling. And I have been very intrigued by this, to say the least. And one thing that I was very impressed by was the article that you did in the Players Tribune that was out last year.
Yes.
And I wanted to read a quote from that, and because this really took me aback. And it was talking about when you were trying to get on with WWE and you had been rejected. And there was a quote that you said in there that that there was just something you felt like was holding you back. And it was being in the closet and not being able to really live your life the way you wanted to live it and be the person you wanted to be and express it. And you said, but at the time, I think I knew the truth. As long as I was closeted as a wrestler, I wasn't going to reach my full potential because I wasn't going to be able to tap into everything that makes me me. And it kind of was as someone who's followed wrestling since I was a little kid for, 40 years. I had always seen sexuality in wrestling as kind of a weapon or a tool, as opposed to like a personality trait. And when I read that article, I was sitting there saying to myself, wow, I never really saw it quite that way, that it would affect somebody like that. Would you mind elaborating on this a little bit and telling people about how that affected you and how it changed when you opened up about this?
Sure. Well, when you're that deep in the closet, like you have to, you're basically living a double life. You're kind of living a lie. You're trying to figure out how to protect yourself in every way possible. So you're navigating life like under pure anxiety at all times. You have to make sure your stories are straight because the people that you're hanging with might out you. So then that turns to a lie. Then you have to remember your lie to the next person, the next person. It's always a constant strain or burden on your shoulders. And that kind of bleeds into all areas of life, just in general, interacting with other people and interacting with the wrestlers and, trying to create authentic, genuine friendships with people. And that you're hiding a piece of you. It's hard to have those kinds of genuine connections when you're not yourself. And that bleeds over to the wrestling world because in order for people to connect with you, they got to get to know you. And I wasn't giving them my true self. I was giving them what I wanted them to see and only what I wanted them to see. And when I came out, I felt like all of those walls came crashing down. I was able to connect with people more. I was able to connect with my fellow wrestlers. My friendships with them and my other friends in general got stronger. I was able to connect with all different fans all over the world, other closeted athletes. So it really, really was such a positive thing and a relief, a complete relief that I got to be myself. I didn't have to hide anymore. I didn't have to structure conversations a certain way. And I felt free. And that's basically what it was. And I was able to really focus on being a good performer and figuring out who I was as a character as opposed to figuring out a character and figuring out who I was as a person in actual life. It was just a ton of stress. And I was so glad when it was over with. There was adjustment period when I did first come out because, it's a whole brand new world. But as time went on, I slowly figured myself out and who I was as a person because I was free to do that. And I had that space too because usually everybody else just does it from the moment they're born and they're free to be themselves. And, they eventually figure out who they are, sometimes a lot earlier.
Right.
So that's that would be the best way to sum it up. But best decision I've ever made. I've been able to connect with so many people and hear their stories. And that's some of the more proud moments that I have, especially like when Max and I have these autograph signings and such, where we get to, it's almost like grassroots being on the ground and talking to people and connecting with them. They come up to you and tell me how my story has affected them positively. And it's hard not to get emotional every time I hear one.
Yeah, I could only imagine. And it's been, obviously times have changed so much and, maybe trying to do this back in the 70s, it would have gone very, very differently.
Yeah,
but
probably would have been very good.
And when you had what happened on, I believe that was on Rampage with the Harley Cameron thing, I was watching that night and I swear to God, I just died laughing. And it just, when she said what she said that, that you had the crush on her and everything. And then you just looked at her with that look. It was one of the funniest moments in professional wrestling history to me. I mean, seriously, I will never forget it because then when you just looked at her and said you were gay, and the crowd went crazy and started chanting, it was hilarious, but it was also, kind of a historical moment too. And I know how much it touched you.
Yeah, I mean, it's never been said before in a wrestling ring on national television. And I'm not the type of, my form of activism is I go out and I am myself and I try to represent as authentically and positively as possible. I'm not really much in your face, but I always wanted to present it in a fun way, because a lot of times it ends up being presented in a very, very serious and emotional way. I wanted to present it in more of a happy-go-lucky, like, so what? You know what I mean? And when it was presented to me, QT Marshall brought it to me. He was like, hey, we got this idea. Would you be comfortable with it? And I was like, yes, absolutely. I've been waiting to do something like this at the right time for a long time. And I'm very, 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 very happy with the result. I'm very happy that the crowd enjoyed it. I would have never in a million years expect them to erupt the way that they did and the reaction that it was. So that was a relief for, high school Anthony Bowens, who was freaked out about the even thought of coming out and existing in the professional wrestling space as an out athlete. So it was all very positive. It was so much fun. And that's the beauty, of working in AEW, is that they allow you to be yourself. They allow you to commit to whatever you choose to be without any kind of judgment. And to kind of actually sink or swim type scenario, you go out there, you be yourself and connect with the audience, and they allow you to figure it out. So that's, I think, one of my favorite things about working here.
Yeah, and personally, I'm very happy for you.
Thank you.
I'm glad that you're able to be who you want to be. And my brother's gay, and I remember when he came out, it was very difficult for him. So I can relate to your story, and I'm thrilled that you're able to get to live your life the way you want to live it. So congratulations to you, and I'm proud of you.
Thank you so much.
It's very difficult to do, and way to go.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, we've got other things in common too.
Like what?
Like what? You love baseball, my friend.
Love it.
You love baseball. And, I know I made you cringe when you came in the studio a little bit, and I apologize because I got a Brooklyn Dodgers thing up here. And I know you're a Giants guy.
I could feel it hovering over my shoulders. I feel the negative energy behind me. Ugh.
Come on, that 55 team was pretty cool, though.
They were good, but they're still a Dodger team.
Yeah, well, it's okay. But of course, for those that don't know, you played at Montclair State, and outfielder. I know you probably couldn't tell, but I actually played center field.
Oh, fellow outfielder. Okay.
Yeah, loved it. Absolutely. And of course, you just got back into playing baseball too, I heard.
Yes. So I've had the itch for a very long time to just get back and do something baseball-wise, because like I said, I played from Little League through college. I was really good in high school. I played Division I at Seton Hall. I transferred to Montclair State University. It's one of the toughest Division III conferences in the country. And then after it ended, I switched right to wrestling, and I think I played the alumni game maybe in 2013 or 14, and that was the last time I did anything really baseball-related. And I live in Los Angeles now, and the rare downtime that I had, I found myself being very bored. I was like, I need to do something again that I love. And the only other thing other than wrestling that I have a lot of different hobbies, but wrestling and baseball are my two biggest loves. And I found this team called, I was on TikTok, and there's this kid named Steven Canez, and he runs this team called the Valley Boys, which is a social media content creation team. Basically, it's similar to pro wrestling, where he has storylines running throughout the season. He allows the players to have characters and storylines, and allows all that to occur with the backdrop of baseball. It's like, well, that sounds like pro wrestling. Sign me up.
Wow.
And it's in the San Bernardino Valley in Los Angeles, so it was right by my house, and we quickly became good friends, and I joined the team, so we play every Sunday. Went 3 for 4 with a double and 2 RBIs in my first game back in 13 years. Went straight from collision, red-eyed, got off the plane, went straight to the field, base it up the middle, no big deal.
Nice. You go, big guy. That's the way.
Very proud.
Not very cool. Of course, we're on with Mark Hoke Show with Anthony Bowens from the acclaimed AEW. Of course, AEW Collision and Double or Nothing coming up Memorial Day weekend is going to be a great time here in Las Vegas. You better go get your tickets right now, because
get them now.
There's not many left. So if you want to scissor with Anthony Bowens, you better pony up, because there's not many seats available. So get in there right now, awtix.com. Now, there's another thing that we have in common.
What's that?
I used to run a movie theater and a video store.
Okay.
Now, I know that you had just were talking about the fact that you love movies and you missed going to the video store.
Yes.
And Mariah May just said on social media that she invited you, I guess similar love about not being able to go to the video store and physically touch videotapes and so on.
Yes.
And she invited you over for a Netflix and chill. Now, you are taken. We all know this, but are you tempted to do a Netflix and chill night with Mariah May?
She's not taking the hint. I am happily taken. Mariah, I really appreciate everything, all the attempts that you've given me over the last couple of weeks on Twitter. I mean, if your intent is to just watch a nice movie and chill, absolutely. But if it's anything more than that, I'm going to have to keep curving you because I'm not interested. I'm sorry. But you seem really nice. You're a great wrestler. Fantastic. Yeah, maybe we could watch some wrestling sometime. That'd be fun.
There you go.
Yeah.
She's kind of around with everybody right now. She's got different interests. Have you noticed that?
Well, interestingly enough, I believe she's good friends with the lady who tried to court me last year, and I had to tell her no, live in the ring. So I think they need to have a good conversation with each other and recognize that I'm off the market.
Come on, Anthony. You've got everybody coming after you, man.
Well, I said in the other interview too, I think it plays right into my role as the ultimate wingman, because usually people don't know, or women don't know, so they will flirt with me and I have to go, hey, I'm sorry, but my single friends over here, they're more than welcome to take you up on that offer. But I win a lot of brownie points with my heterosexual friends because I am a very good wingman.
Well, there you go. Well, that is a good gig in Vegas, by the way. So
it's true.
Unreal.
This would be a great place for it.
Yeah. Well, back to the wrestling now. Of course, the future is very bright for you and Max, and but I'm curious about what your aspirations are, because I know that everybody wants to be the world champion,
of course,
and I'm wondering, is it soon time? Is it soon time for you to make that pursuit and go after that world championship? Because you've done the tag team thing, and maybe is it time to put Anthony Bowens plates on the side of that AEW world title belt at some point?
I mean, that sounds nice, but I like to take things one step at a time. I think Max and I have some unfinished business in the tag team division. We are still proving that we are the best tag team alive. I mean, we do have the most wins as a tag team in the history of the company. Former AEW tag team champions, former AEW trios champions. We'd love to win the tag team gold a second time, but we do also have singles aspirations. I would love to be a Grand Slam champion, win all those singles belts. We've won all the tag title gold that's available at All Elite Wrestling, so why not win the TNT championship? Why not go all the way to the top and become the AEW or professional wrestling's first gay world champion? So all those things are on my list. I like to take it one step at a time, not get too far ahead of myself, but I do have big goals, I have big aspirations, and I plan to achieve all of them when the time comes.
Sounds like a plan. Who's stronger, you or Max?
We're both strong. I think we both look. I'm not going to say I'm stronger than him, but we both work out. We both take pride in our physiques, and if there's anything that there's a competition in, I think it might be who looks better. Because the only time I ever went was I don't ever listen to any kind of like Twitter feedback because it can be very crazy. But I saw one tweet that said, I think for the first time, Max Caster's abs look better than Bowens. I went, oh no, you're not winning this one, Max. And I went right to the gym and started doing so many crunches.
Oh man!
But he is a very, very strong guy. I specifically remember him at All Out 2022, picking up Keith Lee and slamming him down to the ground. That would be. I think I can get it done, but he made it look really, really easy. Not as easy as. It definitely wouldn't be easy for me. I don't think I'd struggle with it. So kudos to you, Max.
Yeah. But you guys are really something special, and what you've done is what you two have accomplished from where you were, and not a lot of people known who you were to becoming one of the most popular tag teams in the world has just been one hell of a rise. It has been something very special to see.
We are very proud, and we have a lot more to go.
So what do you two have planned for Double or Nothing weekend? I'm curious.
I do know that we will be there, and we are accepting all challengers. It doesn't matter if it's trios, doesn't matter if it's tag team, doesn't matter if it's singles. If you want to step up and you want to face the Acclaimed, we will be there in Las Vegas Sunday night, Double or Nothing. Hey, we might even be there Saturday night. You never know. We show up everywhere because everyone loves the Acclaimed. We're in demand in every show. So, again, whoever wants to step up, get run over by the Acclaimed train, bring it.
Now, I have one more thing to ask of you before we wrap this up.
Sure.
I just got to have one of my dream interviews with Kevin Von Erich this week.
Oh, wow.
Now, I have one other dream thing I would love to do.
Is it defend the claw with a scissor?
No, I don't want to. No, I'm a lover, not a fighter. But will you scissor me, Daddy?
Oh, absolutely.
Can you come over here and scissor me?
Absolutely. Let's get this done.
Yeah, let's do it. Because now I don't know if I've never done this. I got to let him get in here, but I've never done this before, so I don't know. Do we do this gently? Do we do this? This rough? How does this work?
So the people can hear me. If you want to do it at home as well, throw up your two fingers, your middle and your pointer finger.
All right.
Make a scissor gesture to warm them up because you don't want to strain a finger.
Okay, I don't want to do that. This is my first time, so
find a friend, find your mom, find your dad, find your grandma, find somebody who also can do this.
All right.
Have them warm up so they don't strain their fingers.
All right.
Rear back.
And
then you go.
Woohoo! That was fantastic. I feel so much better now. Oh, that was fantastic. Oh, man. How much fun was that, everybody? Let's get him. We'll let Anthony get back in there.
Thank you so much for having me. Don't forget, like I said, 800 times in his interview, come out to the MGM Grand this Saturday night, May 25th, Sunday night, May 26th. 2 incredible nights of all elite wrestling. Tickets are now available, or still available, AEWTix.com. That's AEWTIX.com. And come experience the best professional wrestling in the world. And you might even get to scissor with the Acclaim, so you got a lot to look forward to.
I'm going to go take a nap. Thank you. I'll tell you what, a great time, and once again, make sure you get out. Double or Nothing weekend. It is always a blast. Anthony Bowens, thank you so much, and looking forward to seeing what happens this weekend and in the future with you. I want to wish you all the best. One of the coolest guys we've had in the studio. Have a great time this weekend, and we will see you at Collision and Double or Nothing here in Las Vegas. Thank you so much, brother.
Thank you.
All right, and there you go, Anthony Bowens from the Acclaimed. And yes, it was as much fun as it sounded, but what a great guy, and certainly has, overcome a lot personally too to get where he did. It was a great story. If you haven't read that article in the Players Tribune that he wrote about, when he was rejected by WWE, and that happened actually on the same day that his grandmother passed away too, that he got the letter, and trying to piece it all together and helping get through that and figuring out, what was going on with himself, and, eventually, deciding to come out of the closet and making that decision. It was, pretty intense stuff for him, and, a sincere letter to the fans about that. So I'd suggest looking that up and checking it out. But, the Acclaim certainly has taken the pro wrestling world by storm. I mean, if you're not an AEW person, I'd suggest, checking out some of their matches, because they are an awesome team. And, the future is very bright for both those guys. And, I was kind of hinting at them doing some singles stuff. And both him and Max Caster have a very bright future. Great on the mic, terrific in the ring, and only getting better. And certainly have a bright future ahead as singles competitors as well as tag teams. So we'll see where they end up and see what they end up doing Double or Nothing weekend. Should be fun. So we need to take a break, and we come back. We'll wrap up hour number 1. And don't forget, Kevin Von Erich's going to be joining us in hour number 2. So stick around, everybody. We've got a whole lot more on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM. The talk of Las Vegas is the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment. Oh, man. I'm still tired from getting scissored. And he did it again, too, by the way. Stick around, everybody. We got a whole lot more. We'll be right back.
Ready for your next vacation? Not so fast. Before you hit the road, remember these healthy habits to keep yourself and others safe and sanitary. Wash your hands after using the restroom, before eating and after blowing your nose. Sanitize airplane seats and tray tables. Sneeze or cough into a tissue or your elbow. And avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth with unwashed hands. Lastly, make sure you're up to date on all your routine vaccines, including the COVID-19 vaccine. It's also important to get tested when necessary, such as if you develop COVID-19 symptoms before, during, or after travel. If you'll be traveling to visit someone who is at a higher risk of getting very sick from COVID-19, or if you're in a situation with a greater risk of exposure during travel. Pack these tips on your next adventure. And remember, travel safely, Nevadans. This message is sponsored by a CDC grant through the Nevada Department of Health and Human Services, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Are you shopping for healthcare coverage for a small business? Whether you're renewing a plan or shopping for a new one, the Vegas Chamber Health Plan, backed by Anthem, has many of the advantages usually reserved for a larger organization, like access to care across Nevada at lower cost. Lock in quality health care at budget-friendly prices through July 2024. Go to vegaschamber.com/anthem. Brought to you by the Vegas Chamber in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Understanding the many things in a mother's life affecting her pregnancy is important. You can help improve the health of all mothers and babies in Nevada by completing a Pregnancy Risk Assessment Monitoring System survey about your recent pregnancy. Also known as PRAMS, the survey is from the Nevada Division of Public and Behavioral Health and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The survey asks new moms about their experience before, during, and after pregnancy. Responses are confidential and used to help improve the health of mothers and babies in Nevada. If you receive a PRAMS survey, please share your story. Learn more at nvprams.dpbh.nv.gov. That's nvprams.dpbh.nv.gov. This message sponsored by the Nevada Division of Public and Behavioral Health, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hey Nevadans, prescriptions can be expensive. Let the Array RX discount card be your solution. Now available to all Nevada residents. Simply sign up for free, show your pharmacist your digital card, and save money. Receive discounts of up to 80% on certain medications. There are no age or income restrictions, and it only takes a minute to enroll. Visit ArrayRxCard.com to learn more and sign up today.
This message funded by a grant through the Nevada Department of Health and Human Services, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
In Nevada, anything that goes into the storm drain goes directly to our local waterways, which can pollute Nevada's lakes and rivers. Nevada is the driest state in the nation, and we must work together to preserve our limited water resources for future generations of Nevadans. Here's some waterway wisdom so you can help do your part this spring. Clean up vehicle leaks and spills. Scoop your dog's poop, bag it, and discard it. Apply fertilizers and pesticides sparingly. Avoid sprinkler runoff. Don't litter. Secure trash in bins. Keep contaminants out of our storm drains. Use waterway wisdom. And remember, only rain should go into the storm drain. Join us in preserving Nevada's waters for future generations by visiting lovenvwaters.com and following us on social media. This message sponsored by the Nevada Department of Transportation, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
1015 FM KDAWN.
You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
All right, let's do some more pro wrestling news and entertainment, shall we? It is the best here on the Mark Hoke Show on KDAWN 1015 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. One more segment left in the hour here, and then we head into hour number 2 here on KDAWN. Of course, streaming on the Odyssey app worldwide. That's right, kids. all over the planet. And, for those of you outside the planet too, if you're lucky enough to have the app, well, you get to hear me. And streaming, of course, on YouTube and Facebook. So if you're out there, hey, hop in there real quick. We'd love to get your comments, thoughts. I mean, there's a lot going on right now. A ton. Double or Nothing coming up here in Las Vegas. Another big weekend. NXT Battleground's going to be here in a couple of weeks too. That's not very far off. And of course, WWE's King and Queen of the Ring. That's happening next weekend on Saturday. So it is just going to be a hectic next few weeks with a lot of it happening in Las Vegas. I doubt everybody's, just hopping a plane to Saudi Arabia. So we're the center of the wrestling universe for a few weeks here. So brace yourselves, everybody. It is going to be an awesome, awesome time, man. I love it. Absolutely love it. Just, it never stops. And of course, getting around town, you're going to see a lot of different things happening here in the city. So check out your wrestling calendars, get on your internet and take a look. And Phil Stamper, by the way, Trust in Phil, who, by the way, Phil hurt himself. I think he messed up his knee or something. We'll have to take a look. But of course, he was just on the show a couple weeks ago. It does work for Pro Wrestling Revolver. Has that great indie calendar. So you want to check that out because I'm sure he's going to have a lot of the events that are going to be happening listed. So you want to take a look at that. Pretty cool stuff. But once again, Double or Nothing coming up next weekend. Once again, get your tickets, guys. Like I said, there's not many left, but I did see they're kind of, smatterings all over the building at different spots. So don't wait, please. We want to see you out there. And AEW Collision on Saturday too on the TV show. You know how Tony books. He's going to throw some stuff in there at the last minute. There's going to be some important things that are going to happen. So you're going to want to make sure that you're there at Collision. It's a great night, and they're going to be getting ready for this. And we saw some important things happen just this week as, of course, Eddie Kingston broke his leg in Japan, and they just confirmed that with x-rays. And, well, I'm a little surprised at this one. They're replacing Eddie in the Anarchy in the Arena match with Darby Allin, who hasn't totally recovered from that busted foot. Of course, that sidelined him from his time off climbing Mount Everest, but they're throwing him back in there. I'm a little surprised. You could have gone with Daniel Garcia or somebody along those lines, but Darby Allin has hopped into that, so he's going to be teaming with FTR and Bryan Danielson, he's also apparently having some issues too. He made an announcement. They did a little digital video from the AEW team that he's having issues with a compression of the nerve root at his C6, C7, and T1. So says he's having a shooting pain that's running down his arm that won't go away. And the doctor is telling him he's going to have surgery. So half of Team AEW is going in there in a lot of pain. That's not good. So tough break there for Bryan Danielson as well. So Darby Allin hurt in wrestling. I mean, and it's not that these guys aren't used to that anyway, but oh boy, I kind of question Darby being in this match. You have a whole roster. Couldn't you pick out two guys who are healthy? I mean, I know Darby probably wants to beat up Jack Perry. I don't blame him, but wow, with Bryan Danielson, maybe once again, is this going to be, could he be out for a while? And of course, we had a couple other AEW injuries too. We just found out Athena got hurt on her last match. So we're waiting to hear about that. And of course, Eddie Kingston being down as well. So the injury bug biting AEW again. Oh my God. I don't know what's going on with these guys, but they just seem to keep getting busted up. And, we've already got MJF and Adam Cole out. Oh, man, got to be driving Tony Khan nuts. But we'll see how that goes as things progress. Maybe then Darby's in there. I doubt Bryan's going to pull out either. This might be, like I said, maybe the last match for a little bit, and his contract coming up too, but I'm sure he's re-signing. I highly doubt that he will not be back. But there is a WWE star that we're going to talk about in the next hour whose contract's up. And I'm going to say right now that this person should go to AEW. And they've been in WWE for a very long time. But I think that person should take the Adam Copeland route and head to AEW. We'll talk about that in hour number 2. But of course, coming up hour 2, I can't even begin to tell you how incredible this interview was for me. And it's going to show through. Kevin Von Erich will be on the Mark Hoke Show in hour number 2. So I want you all to stick around for that. Of course, follow us on Twitter at X at Mark Hoke Show, Facebook, The Mark Hoke Show, markhokeshow.com. Podcasts are up on markhokeshow.podbean.com. Subscribe to us on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show. You pretty much got the concept. Just search Mark Hoke Show. You'll find us. Stick around, everybody. Hour number 2 coming up. Kevin Von Erich when we return. We'll be right back.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show, and visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join the Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.
Join the Vegas Chamber today. Being a member of the Vegas Chamber sends a powerful message of credibility and that your business is connected to a larger community of organizations dedicated to ensuring Nevada is a great place to live, work, and do business. Joining the Vegas Chamber and becoming part of the largest business organization in Nevada has never been easier. Grow your business within your budget. Visit vegaschamber.com and join today. Sponsored by the Vegas Chamber in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Unsafe sleep conditions cause serious injury and even death to infants. Never sleep with your baby on a sofa, in a chair, or in an adult bed. Protect the baby you love from becoming a tragic statistic. The only safe place for your baby to sleep is alone, on its back, in a crib, and in your room. For more information, visit cribsforkids.org. That's cribsforkids.org. This message is sponsored by the Division of Public and Behavioral Health, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
You're pregnant, and no matter what you do, no matter what you try, you can't stop using alcohol, drugs, or tobacco. But no matter how lost you are, how far along you are, it's not too late. There's always hope. And there are many safe places that can help you stop using. In Nevada, pregnant women are given the highest priority for substance use treatment. Low-cost treatment options may be available so you and your baby can get healthy now. If you or someone you love is pregnant or thinking about getting pregnant and using alcohol, drugs, or tobacco, visit SoberMomsHealthyBabies.org or call 211 to find help today. SoberMomsHealthyBabies.org also has resources for healthcare providers, friends, and family. If you want to help someone who's pregnant and using, visit SoberMomsHealthyBabies.org or call 211 today. Sponsored by the Nevada Division of Public and Behavioral Health and in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hey Nevadans, prescriptions can be expensive. Let the ArrayRx discount card be your solution. Now available to all Nevada residents. Simply sign up for free. Show your pharmacist your digital card and save money. Receive discounts of up to 80% on certain medications. There are no age or income restrictions, and it only takes a minute to enroll, so you can get back to doing what makes you happy.
This message funded by a grant through the Nevada Department of Health and Human Services, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Did you know you can stream Fox News Radio on the free Odyssey app? Just download the free Odyssey app and search for Fox News Radio to hear the voices you trust. Brian Kilmeade.
Why are we so scared of Iran thinking they were at war with them?
Guy Benson.
Get the bleep out of here. It's disgusting.
Jimmy Fela.
Then this administration rolled into town with a checkbook.
Are all on the free Odyssey app. From the news and talk to keep you informed and up to date during election season. Listen to Fox News Radio on the free Odyssey app. That's AUDACY.
KMXP HD3 Henderson, K268CS Las Vegas. Always live on the free Odyssey app. 1015 FM KDAWN.
Gives a commencement address. I'm Deborah Valentine, Fox News. President Biden delivering the commencement speech at Morehouse College in Atlanta this morning, congratulating the graduating class on their accomplishments.
The class of 2024, you join, as you know, a sacred tradition. And education makes you free, and Morehouse education makes you fearless.
The campus shut down for the event as police were prepared for pro-Palestinian protesters to possibly interrupt the ceremony, which did not happen. The president addressing the war in Gaza saying he is calling for an immediate ceasefire and a two-state solution. He also says he supports peaceful, non-violent protests. A new lawsuit claims a Florida mother was killed when her car's counterfeit airbag detonated like a grenade. Here's Fox's Ted Linder.
22-year-old Destiny Biasi's family alleges that her used 2020 Chevy Malibu, which was purchased from national used car company Drive Time, passed through multiple con men before its fake emergency airbags deployed in a frontal collision that caused a blast that shot metal and plastic shrapnel throughout the car, killing her. The suit claims that the car was involved in a crash a few years ago when it was owned by Enterprise Rent-A-Car, and that the car should have been totaled. Instead, Enterprise is accused of selling the car off to Drive Time. The vehicle was then repaired at a body shop where it's alleged the shop owner purchased counterfeit and non-compliant airbag components and installed them in the vehicle. The lawsuit seeks a trial on 14 counts against the various defendants. Ted Linder, Fox News.
Kennesaw State University officials say an armed intruder shot and killed a female student on campus yesterday afternoon. It's unclear what caused the shooting, but an unidentified suspect has been detained. The school warning students to take shelter just after 4 p.m. yesterday before giving the all clear. America's listening to Fox News.
Stay on top of the latest forecast with America's Weather Team in the palm of your hands.
Here's the latest from America's Weather Center.
It's Fox weather updates throughout your busy day, every day.
That heat's going to be out there for one more day.
Temperatures being 30 degrees above average.
Put the power of over 100 meteorologists and the worldwide resources of Fox in your hands with the Fox Weather Podcast. Precise, personal, powerful. Subscribe and listen now at foxnewspodcasts.com. Connect to Fox News Audio on the Fox News app. Listen to hear your favorite hosts like Brian Kilmeade, Jimmy Fallon, and Guy Benson standing up for what's right, live and via podcast. Just click listen, then swipe right and hear the latest news updates on your time. And scroll down to hear the latest podcasts from Fox News. And it's even easier to listen in the car with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Get programming alerts and notifications. Fox News Audio is on the Fox News app. The voices America trusts. Download it now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
All right, everybody. It is hour number 2 of the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the Talk of Las Vegas. What's going on, Las Vegas? Very happy to have you join us. Of course, for those of you streaming out there on the Odyssey app from wherever you are. Of course, the show's been downloaded in 160 countries. Got to be kidding me. Flattering, everybody. We thank you so much wherever you're tuned in. And of course, hey, now is the time if you want to subscribe to the Mark Hoke Show on YouTube. I would do it right now. Just do it and get in there. And you might want to see this because we've got Kevin Von Erich coming up. And a very touching interview for me. But you'll be able to see the interview as well. And this is one you might want to actually watch. We're going to have it. We promise you, we are going to have that posted. I do have that set up to go live on YouTube after the show's over. But yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. But you can come on and talk to me and come bring your comments, ask any questions you have. Let us know what you think. We love to interact with this. So that's the best way to do it. So hop on in there on YouTube or Facebook. And that's just the Mark Hoke Show. And you can say hi and come up with whatever you want to say. So we'd love to have you join us. Of course, follow us on X at Mark Hoke Show 2. I try to keep an eye on everything while we're doing the show. Not the easiest thing to do because I'm actually running the board and doing it all in here. but we'll keep an eye on things for you. So we certainly appreciate it. By the way, I did want to mention we did have David Penzer, of course, former WCW and TNA ring announcer, scheduled for the show, but he did have a prior or something come up, and he is scheduled for next week's show. So we do have David scheduled for next week. So I know we were pretty excited to have him jamming in here too. I don't know how we'd have handled it, but we would have pulled it off. But David Penzer will be on. And like I said, we are also planning on Will Ospreay. He's supposed to be scheduled to be coming down here to the KDAWN studios to do an interview with us on Friday as we get ready for Double or Nothing here in Las Vegas next weekend. So once again, get your tickets. We want to have a big turnout. Keep Double or Nothing here in Las Vegas. Keep Collision coming. This has been here since AEW got rolling. It was their first pay-per-view. And we want to make sure that Tony keeps getting great turnouts here in Las Vegas. So get your tickets. Don't wait. AEWTix.com or your favorite ticket outlets. And, of course, it's also going to be available on pay-per-view on Triller. It's shaping up to be a great, great card. And you're going to see some of the best wrestlers in the world. And I'm telling you, Will Ospreay, by the way, if you haven't seen Will perform live, did get to see him when he was here with TNA against Josh Alexander. And what a match that was. Whoa. But Will is one of those guys, he has a legit claim to being the best on the planet. And it's going to be very interesting to have him in here. I was warned that I may be doing some editing with the old bleep button. So brace yourselves for that, everybody. Oh, man, we had a scissor party, and I'm going to have a bleeping party. It should be pretty cool. But I am very excited to share with you an interview with someone who was one of my childhood heroes growing up. I got to interview Sergeant Slaughter last year, which was one of the first guys that I really idolized as a pro wrestling fan when I was a kid. Hulk Hogan was another one, and but this guy and his brothers were something very special to me. And unfortunately, all the tragedies that surrounded the Von Erich family, it was pretty hard to watch. But I loved the Von Erichs. I watching World Class Championship Wrestling was just must see TV for me, and these guys meant more to me than I think you could ever know. And I hope that it comes across what the Von Erichs and everybody meant to me. And when I talk about it, so you can tell it's kind of tough talking about it a little bit, thinking about everything that happened. But this interview is going to be one that I'm not going to forget for the rest of my life. And I hope you enjoy it. So what do you say we hear right now from the man himself, Kevin Von Erich? All right, everybody. And we are very excited for our guest here on the Mark Hoke Show. He really needs no introduction to any wrestling fans around the world. I am truly honored to have this guy on my show. He was a poster on my wall growing up, and very thrilled to have one of the guys that I honor and respect most in professional wrestling. Grew up watching him as a kid, and now he is on my show. Kevin Von Erich, welcome to the Mark Hoke Show.
Hey, Mark, it's great to be here, and thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely thrilled to have you on. And, first off, I wanted to have a little fun to start off with you, because I got to talk to Bobby Fulton a while back. And one question that I said to him was, if there were a couple people that I wanted to be when I was a kid, because I started watching wrestling when I was about 12. And of course, you're a teenage boy and you see all the craziness going on. I said, I'd either want to be one of the Fantastics or one of the Von Erichs, just because of how crazy everything was back then, and seeing how the fans loved him and the girls were chasing him and everything else. What was it like for you guys back then? Because you just see the fans' reactions and everything that was going on around you. What was that like for you guys to be in that craziness?
Well, it was wild. A wild way to make a living, all right. But I'd like to ask you, though, how's Bobby Fulton doing? It's good to hear that you talked to him. How's he doing?
He was doing really well. Running his promotion up there in Ohio, and seemed to be was in pretty good spirits. Recovering from the cancer that he had, and doing great. He was picking on my co-host and everything. Yeah,
he's up. What town did you say? Atlanta.
He's in Ohio. Chillicothe, I think it was. Yeah, but yeah, he's doing great.
Oh, real good. Well, he was always a great worker and a great mind. I always liked him, and Tommy Rogers too. Good guys. Yeah. But Tommy passed away recently. Or several years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. But he was out in Hawaii, and living on Oahu, and he came and stayed with us for a while right before he died. We're always, it's good for us to see him. We're glad he came.
Yeah. So what was that like for you guys to with all that wildness, with all the fans and everything for you?
Well, it was, I played football, and I'd been before crowds before, and, but getting down, stripping into your underwear and being in front of crowds is a little something else that took some getting used to tell the truth, You're practically naked out there, but when you're wrestling, then you concentrate on your opponent, and that's, you don't even think about that really.
Yeah.
It's like, it so much comes with experience. When you're really young, you get started, you're nervous before, maybe you can't eat the night before or even sleep very well. But as time goes on, it doesn't affect you at all. Just get right over it. And the fact that you're practically naked in that ring in front of millions of people is, that goes away too. It's just part of getting older. Yeah.
Yeah. And, it's funny that I was just looking back and I realized that we just passed the 40th anniversary of the first annual Von Erich Parade of Champions. And I was thinking back to that time and how incredible that day was. And, take us back to that and what the emotions and everything that was going through all of your minds when, we were, obviously we're thinking about David and, carrying the championship and everything that went into that day.
Yeah, it was a sad day, and it's hard to, get your mind into wanting to wrestle when you've, been wounded like that deep, but once something like that hits you, you're kind of, when you're really like with Dave, it was a real blow to me, and so it was hard to get moving and stuff. I wanted to just like stay in bed, like, because the mornings are the worst part. You think about, but I think it's really important that to get up and start doing things so that your subconscious thoughts take over instead of what's directly on your mind, and you just get your hands busy, something manual, something like that, because you've really got to break that trend. You can't just sit there and mope. You feel like it. Everything with you feels like it. It's just good to get moving again. And so as far as we're concerned, that's what we do. We're professional wrestlers, and that meant wrestling again. It was hard to do, but still, you just put your mind in your place, and really you're glad you did it later because, you're not thinking about your brother, you're just thinking about your match and your opponent and what you should be thinking about. And it's kind of a little vacation from the grief too. So it was hard that we were going right back into the ring, but then again, it was helpful too.
It was an incredible day, and one that I never forgot. I was, it was tough to see everything going on, but a beautiful remembrance for David. And as time went on and everything started happening to your family after that as well. And I remember when Carrie passed away and the news hit, and what the first thing that I thought of, being such a big fan of your family and you, after I heard the news, I thought, oh my God, this happened. And then I thought of you, and I said, oh my God, Kevin. And I thought, how is he going to get through this? And with the passing of now all of your brothers, how did you over time get through all that? Because I couldn't imagine how anybody could make it through that, and somehow you did it. How did you cope with that?
Well, tell me, Mark, when you were thinking about me, I appreciate that. Did you pray for me?
I did.
Did you pray for me, Mark? I know you did, buddy, and a lot of people did, and that is what got me through it. I told you, I really, I've told people before that I was really knocked down, and to picture when you think about, grief can do that to you. It can kind of, you hate the world, or where you just don't want any suffering to happen, don't want anyone else to go through what you went through, well, and that was how it was. But people like you that were thinking about me and put me on your heart to pray for me, that's what got me through it, Mark, that people really did love me. And I, it's hard to see that in this world bouncing around. You wonder, do I even matter? But it's all so important. But it's so easy to get in that rut and think that things don't matter, that we're all just dust in the wind. When the opposite is so true. Every minute counts so much. The memories you make with your children and your family are what's really important, and everything else just pretty much goes by the wayside. That's what's important, is love amongst your family and your kids and your brothers and sisters and all that. That's what matters. And your fans, your friends, the people that have hurt with you, that know you. I'm fortunate that I've had fans like I do, good men like you that will take your knee for me and pray for me, and ask God to, be with me. And thank you for doing that. And for everybody else listening that did that, God bless all of you so much. You saved me. Really,
we loved you, Kevin. We do.
Thank you.
We do. Well, and of course, now recently the Iron Claw movie came out, and I was so excited to see this movie, and it was fascinating to watch. And now, a few months have passed since this thing came out, and now that the dust has settled a little bit from it, what are your reflections on this movie after some time has gone by and you've gotten to see it and think about this a little bit? Your thoughts about the movie now, since all the hoopla died down a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted everybody to enjoy the movie, and so I endorsed it. I thought it'd be good for wrestling, good for the business, and our family too. I never worked with WWE really for a little bit there at the very end when I sold them my shows, but never really had any big company advertising for me, or anything like that, or like putting my name out there. All the attention we got was homespun stuff. It was just word of mouth and organic. And we had a relationship with our fans. It was genuine. We really meant it. That how can you not love somebody back if somebody loves you, and it made for a close, a trusting relationship between us and our fans. That I've cherished. I really did, still do, because I just think, like you said, 44 years since we started all that, and or longer. But and still to have such loyalty and the fans remember, it's a great feeling. And remember this too, in Dallas, I loved Cowboys, Cliff Harris and Charlie Waters and Mel Renfro and Cornell Green and all my heroes when I was a little boy, and Roger Staubach and all those guys. But you remember they got booed during our heyday. They went on strike and the crowd booed them, and so you say that's a pretty choosy crowd in Dallas, but what loyalty we had for our fans. It was just a genuine feeling, universal feeling between us, and not just in Dallas, everywhere we go. I mean, I went to New York with Ross and Marsh the other day, and we signed autographs up there for hours. And there are more fans up there than in Texas. I couldn't believe it. It was just, the line never stopped. It was just the nicest people too. It was what that television does, just amazing.
Kind of surprised you, I guess, to a point that, I mean, did you really not understand how much people loved you around the country?
Well, Mark, to tell the truth, I mean, my priorities are a lot different than you might think. I've got grandchildren, and even before, now when one of my grandchildren grabs my finger and says, "Granddaddy, let's go," or "Let's play monster trucks," or "Let's go ride the four-wheeler," well, I go. That's my priority now. I just, because I've seen life, and it goes by fast. and you've got to enjoy it quick and respond quick with love first. I mean, let's face it, love is the greatest force on earth. I mean, they talk about mommies that see a car roll on top of a baby and they'll throw that car off of there. And they say, well, that's adrenaline. Well, no, that's love. And God is love. And inside someone's heart, love for each other, that's kept me going and made my life where when I wake up in the morning, I'm looking forward to my day, you know, or I had a great time today. I'm going to have another great time tomorrow. It's all because love, you know, don't be afraid to put it out there and be first to put it out there. Just trust and love. A great life.
You're making me think of my daughter a lot right now. I got to give her an extra big hug after we get done today. That's for sure.
Well, you know, you live a long time and things happen. And, you know, I'm not anything special, Mark. You know, I've had a lot of people have had worse than me, you know, in the life. And as you go through your life and things like that hit you and you endure through it, you know, and you trust that a better day is coming, boy, that better day does come. You've got to trust and you've got to just continue, maintain what strength you have over it and ask God for more. Ask God to be with you and you'll be able to conquer anything, but you don't need anyone. I mean, people out there that someone did you wrong a long time ago, think of this, forgive them. Just forgive them and love them. Look at their face and see the little child in there and you can love them. And all the hard things that they're going through, they'll melt away, because when somebody hates or somebody resents, it hurts the guy that's hating, the guy that's resenting. Look at it logically and rationally. It's going to get better. Everything always has. It just seems like it won't this time, but it will. Just keep staying strong, keep doing your best, and maintain. That's what I would say.
Of course, we're on with Kevin Von Erich on the Mark Hoke Show, and lots of words of wisdom from this man, that is for sure. Now, I wanted to ask you real quick about Chris, because you know, they had to take him out of the movie, and you know, we heard that he was kind of amalgamated in with Mike's character a little bit, and I was surprised by that. But you know, I knew about Chris, and I wanted to give you a chance to talk a little bit about Chris and tell everybody a little bit about him.
Yeah,
you know, just to get to talk about it to the fans.
He was a beautiful little guy. He really was. He wanted to wrestle so bad. He thought he wanted to be just like Kerry, to tell the truth, one of those big muscles, you know. But he took medicine for asthma that was called prednisone, and it's a steroid, but not like you might think. And it really stunted his growth, made his bones brittle. It gave him a moody personality, and it was in a way, his drugs did that to him, you know. But it was just a bad choice. My mother back then was really. It's a long story, but back in those days, you know, my dad raised me, Dave and Kerry. He raised us rough. You know, my dad was born in 1929. That's a depression, and you don't need to have worthless kids. You know, you need your sons need to know to keep their word, to do what's right, to be on time. You know, and there's some life lessons a father just has to teach his son. And a lot of people in today's world would say it sounds rough that my dad would take a leather strap to us when we messed up or when we did wrong. But let me tell you, we expected it. We knew that if we got caught, you know, riding his cattle or whatever, you know, we'd get it. And when we did, we got it, you know, and it was life. I love that man. He was my father, and admire him forever. And all my brother were the same way. We love my dad so much. I know this movie's out and it's popular, and I wanted people to enjoy it, but I want to tell you this too. It's not historical at all. That's not the way Fritz was. And that's not the way my mother was either. If one of us ever went up to her and said, Mom, I need to talk to you, she would never have said, well, that's what your brothers are for. Go talk to them. My mother lived for that moment to sit down on our beds at night and talk to us about how our day went, and pretty much the opposite how that movie was. But it was a labor of love. You know, the producer loved Von Erichs and did his best, but he did from England, you know, and they didn't contact me. I don't know why, because I'd been glad to help, but they didn't, and so it kind of shows. But you know, I've been glad to help them out. You know,
Yeah.
and they're real nice people, you know. So I don't want to say anything bad about them, but that's not a historical movie at all. But it's entertainment, you know. It's based on a true story, you know. So, but we were raised rough, and I wouldn't want people to think that just because it was like that I held any hard feelings toward my dad or the fans that watched that know that Fritz was not that way. He loved us first. I mean, money was just a byproduct of what our family business was. Like we're family, you know, we're not perfect. I'm sure my dad made mistakes, but big mistakes, you know, and well, he hardly paid us, you know, but we lived with our dad, you know, he paid for our insurance, bought our cars, you know, it was a family business and it worked. Now, we didn't live there. Once I got married, Pam and I moved out, and we got about 1980, but then so did Carrie. Carrie got married and moved out, moved down the road from me. And then Dave, too, moved out on 407 on the old Fort Worth Highway. And so we all lived right there together with each other, but and we were really close, but you know, we just did our best. You know, we thought that we knew that, you know, we had fans that were kids, and we wanted to say yes sir and no sir on the air and be good examples. But let me tell you, Mark, that's tough. You know, to spend 20 years as a good example. Things happen, you know, and I mean, Kerry went through his drug thing, and you know that it was so public, you know. But the media loves to build you up, and then they love to get every tumble when you come down too. You know, it's just kind of the nature of that beast. Yeah.
No doubt. Well, you know, through all this tragedy, though, a great thing happened, that your family sprung up, and you know, you went to Hawaii, and you know, you kind of gathered everybody back together, and you know, Ross Marshall and your daughters, and you kept everybody together, and you know, you guys have come out on the other end, and it's been a great story that all of you have, you know, grown together and been happy, and Ross and Marshall have succeeded and doing great, and you know, you just moved back to Texas now too, which you know, I was a little surprised to hear about that. You know, what was behind that decision to bring everybody back to Texas?
Well, I love the ocean. You know, I really needed that ocean, and it really did help my mind and all. I just wanted to, because I had a great family all the time. I always brought my kids with me or my wife when I could, you know, and it cost a lot of money, but we still were able to stay together, you know. And so we were out there, and you know, found out that and this movie was coming out, and actually the big thing is that Marshall and Ross were you know, they were starting to make shows in Chicago and Philadelphia and New York and LA and all, and so it was like not LA, but all around the big wrestling towns. And so they needed to be nearer to the to both West and the East Coast of the United States, and you know, Chicago or Dallas, you know, were kind of a central country. Of course, they wanted to live in Texas, and so Ross bought this ranch out here, and so my boys were coming out here anyway, and I just said, "Say, well, y'all are going out, and I'm going to go too." You know, I miss Texas too. I mean, I missed the coyotes howling at night, you know, and birds along the river at night, you know, whippoorwills and all. And I just never used to realize how much I'd miss Mexican food and Texas people, and I really did, you know. And I loved it over there, and they're really nice. I say nice people, you know. They're not trusting at first. You have to show that you're going to be there a while. But once I got up into the mountains, you know, and we started our ranch up there, it was the other ranchers in the area were so nice. It was such a great, it's still my residence, you know. I still live there. I'm going in a couple of weeks, but I just haven't been there as much with all the business we're into right now. You know, it takes a lot of hands-on, but anytime I have spare time, I'm headed out back out there because I've still got Benji and Malie and Lindsay and Jill and Jack, her husband Jack. And so when I go out there, I just love to stay with them. And, a lot of fun, but I'm having a lot of fun here too. I've got my kids and hunting season, and it's just great. Yeah, and loving it.
Oh, that's terrific. Well, and Kevin, unfortunately, we're out of time. I know I promised we'd let you get out of here by a certain amount of time here, but I just wanted to tell you that, you and your brothers were a great inspiration to me growing up. And I wanted to thank you for everything you did for me and for a ton of fans all across the world. And wanted to thank you for coming on the show. I do appreciate it. Of course, the Iron Claw, by the way, is streaming now on Max, so you can check that out. And Kevin, thank you so much for the time. I cannot begin to tell you what this means to me that you took the time to come on my show. And I'd love to do this again sometime, and we'll have more time to talk. I'm stumbling a little bit because this really meant the world to me. So thank you.
Well, Mark, it was my pleasure, and it was sure nice to meet you too, buddy. And I want to tell you, don't ever think that was nothing when you prayed for me when I was down, because I'm always going to remember you for it. Thank you for that too. And I mean, we'll hold our fists triumphantly. In 100 years, we'll be together, and we'll talk about it, man. We'll remember to mark this day, my birthday, May 15th, that you and I will salute. Yeah, today's my birthday.
Oh, it's your birthday. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, happy birthday,
Well, anyway,
sir.
thank you, buddy. Thank you. But you did great today, and it was nice to meet you. And well done, man. Thanks for the prayers.
Well, thank you, and we appreciate it. And have a terrific birthday, sir. I hope you enjoy yourself, and tell the family we all said hi from Las Vegas.
I sure will. Las Vegas. Okay. Y'all have a great day out there. So long.
You got it. And there you go, everybody. Sorry, a little choked up. Kevin Von Erich, of course, from the legendary Von Erich family, WWE Hall of Famer, and one of the true legends in the professional wrestling industry. Of course, moved back to Texas with the family, the 2 sons, the 2 daughters, and of course the 13 grandkids, and doing well. And just amazing that he was able to come out on the other side after all that tragedy, losing all of his brothers, and an unbelievable story. And of course, guys, if you haven't checked out the Iron Claw, it's a pretty cool movie. Like Kevin said, some embellishments in there, and you can, learn all about that, but just a great ode to the Von Erich family. So you definitely want to take a look at that. We are, of course, want to get a commercial break in here. We've got to sneak this in. We're running a little bit behind because of that, but that's okay, because, that meant everything. So I hope you enjoyed it. We will be right back on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. We've got a lot of WWE news to get to. King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring, and a whole lot more. Oh, and I do want to, before we get out, just want to thank JR and Jeff from Kevin's PR team for getting that all set up. I know we were working hard to get that done, so thank you guys. Appreciate it. We'll see you on the other side of the break on the Mark Hoke Show, the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment. We'll be right back.
Dive into a savory 8-ounce New York steak seasoned to perfection and cooked to order alongside 4 succulent pan-fried shrimp served 7 days a week from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. at Jerry's Nugget Casino. This combo meal is a taste sensation and comes with a choice of super salad, choice of potato, and garlic bread. You want a delicious meal at a tremendous value, right? Then visit Jerry's Nugget today and enjoy steak and shrimp for $16.89. Jerry's Nugget Casino, your kind of place.
Jerry's Nugget Casino, your kind of place.
Hey, Nevadans, prescriptions can be expensive. Let the Array RX discount card be your solution. Now available to all Nevada residents. Simply sign up for free, show your pharmacist your digital card, and save money. Receive discounts of up to 80% on certain medications. There are no age or income restrictions, and it only takes a minute to enroll. Visit ArrayRxCard.com to learn more and sign up today.
This message funded by a grant through the Nevada Department of Health and Human Services, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
The LGBTQ Center of Las Vegas provides a range of health and wellness services in a safe and non-judgmental environment. You can get fast and comprehensive HIV testing, as well as screening for STIs for little to no cost. Appointments are recommended, but walk-ins are welcome. Located in the heart of Las Vegas near downtown, the center also provides an on-site pharmacy. Get more information at thecenterlv.org. This message is sponsored by a grant through the Sands Corporation, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Understanding the many things in a mother's life affecting her pregnancy is important. You can help improve the health of all mothers and babies in Nevada by completing a pregnancy risk assessment monitoring system survey about your recent pregnancy. Also known as PRAMS, the survey is from the Nevada Division of Public and Behavioral Health and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The survey asks new moms about their experience before, during, and after pregnancy. Responses are confidential and used to help improve the health of mothers and babies in Nevada. If you receive a PRAMS survey, please share your story. Learn more at nvprams.dpbh.nv.gov. That's nvprams.dpbh.nv.gov. This message sponsored by the Nevada Division of Public and Behavioral Health, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Are you shopping for healthcare coverage for a small business? Whether you're renewing a plan or shopping for a new one, the Vegas Chamber Health Plan, backed by Anthem, has many of the advantages usually reserved for a larger organization, like access to care across Nevada at lower cost. Lock in quality healthcare at budget-friendly prices through July 2024. Go to vegaschamber.com/anthem. Brought to you by the Vegas Chamber in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
1015 FM KDAWN.
This is the Mark Hoke Show.
The Mark Hoke Show.
Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
And let's get back to it. The best of pro wrestling news and entertainment here on the Mark Hoke Show. On KDAWN, of course, streaming live on the Odyssey app and live streaming on YouTube and Facebook. Very happy to have you join us on this Sunday morning. Counting it down to a massive weekend in pro wrestling. King and Queen of the Ring on Saturday. AEW Collision here in Las Vegas. Also on Saturday at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. And Double or Nothing for AEW also over at the MGM. Boy, oh boy. It is going to be a great week. My Friday is going to be loaded too. It looks like we're going to be getting to talk to Will Ospreay. We'll have that for you on the show. And David Penzer is going to be joining us on Sunday's show as well. Looks like. Well, so we may have some other surprises for you too. We'll see who pops into the studio. It's going to be a busy day. And of course, also on Friday, Nigel McGuinness is doing his show over at the Ahern, and the Nemeth boys are going to be doing their show over at the Nerd. So it's going to be a great weekend for everybody in Las Vegas. Just and seriously, by the way, get your tickets for Nigel's show and Nick and Ryan's show. Just great times. And I went to Nigel's show when the last time they did it here, when they were here for Collision, and that one really touched my heart too, because I was a big fan of the Briscoes and in Ring of Honor, and boy, they did a great job, bringing that back, and Nigel talking about his career, but also, doing a lot of great Magic and Mentalist stuff, and it was fun. So, highly recommend you get tickets for that one. So make sure you check that out. It's a great time, and we'll see what the Nemeth boys have cooked up as well over at the Nerd. So check that out. All right, we are getting down to it, by the way, with the King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring tournaments as we get ready for that premium live event over at WWE. They get ready to head over to Saudi Arabia. Of course, some pretty big matches on that card as we get ready to sail into the tournaments. But right now, of course, Becky Lynch is going to be defending against Liv Morgan for that WWE Women's World Championship. Sami Zayn defends the WWE Intercontinental Championship against Chad Gable and Bronson Reed. And Chad, none too happy with any of the members of the Alpha Academy. oh boy, he's just berated all three of them this week. Yikes. And Cody Rhodes defends the undisputed WWE championship against U.S. champion Logan Paul. He does make good drink. Yes, Logan. I'm still drinking the Prime. Let's get it going. I'm going to email your people again. And I keep bugging you. We can use a Prime hydration station. Plus, it'd save me some money, too. So it's pretty good. This is the Ice Pop. Good stuff. So, big card there. But, of course, we won't know until right before this thing happens who's going to be in the finals of the King and Queen of the Ring tournament. The Queen of the Ring, I got everybody talking a little bit. Well, we got Io Sky and Lyra Valkyria on one half of the bracket, but the other one everybody was talking about was, are they really going to put Jade Cargill against Bianca Belair? And I said, that's not happening. They're going to figure out something to knock somebody out. They did. A quick 2.5 minute match with a DQ. Nia fools Jade and gets her disqualified. So Nia Jax will be meeting Bianca Belair. And I'm going to call it right now. Nia Jax, as I said, is going to be the Queen of the Ring. I'm just calling it. That's it. She will be the Queen of the Ring. That'll be fun. I've been impressed with what she's been doing. I'm cool with it. Some of you out there may be like, no. And I'll be like, yeah. Get used to it. Queen Nia. It's going to happen. So get ready. Now, the men's side, King of the Ring, there are some interesting possibilities over here. So we got Gunther advanced. He meets Jey Uso. Randy Orton and Tama Tonga are on the other side. Do we get Gunther and Randy Orton battling it out? Do we get Jey Uso and Tama Tonga in a bloodline-y battle? I'm going to say no. I have a feeling I have a feeling we get bloodline interference and then Jey interferes in the other one. We get Gunther and Randy Orton, and we shall get King Gunther. That's my prediction there. I think Gunther ends up King of the Ring. Said that at the start, actually. I'm going to nail this. This is going to be great. I love being right. I'm usually fairly right on this stuff. You guys have been listening to the show long enough. You know. I know what I'm talking about on this stuff. But then, of course, next thing you know, it'll be King Randy and, Queen Bianca or something like that. But should be a lot of fun. But this will be intriguing. But, it's funny. I did see somebody say, why is everybody forgetting that Gunther is probably one of the best pro wrestlers in the world? They're right. They're right. He's pretty darn good. Was a little disappointed we did get Gunther and Ilya Dragunov. But the one thing that I do hope that we get outside interference or something that costs Jey that match, because I don't want to see Jey get screwed with. He already lost once. Let's not have it happen twice, shall we? If you don't mind. But should be a great card coming up, so that'll be a nice lead in to everybody, so you can get hyped up in the morning here in Las Vegas. That's going to start at 10 o'clock. The pre-show will be on sooner, but 10 o'clock in the morning for everybody. And then you can head over to Collision later on in the afternoon, and then Double or Nothing in the afternoon here on Sunday. So it's going to be a great weekend for everybody to enjoy a lot of pro wrestling plus everything else going on in Vegas. So it should be pretty cool. So make sure you brace yourselves. And, of course, don't forget what Memorial Day weekend is all about, recognizing all our fallen soldiers here in the United States. So it's going to be a great time, but don't forget what that weekend's all about. Yes, it's a great pro wrestling weekend, but more important things of why that weekend exists. And we need to get our break in before we go to it. But like I said, we were talking about somebody whose contract is up, and I want to make sure that we get that in. And I think they should leave WWE. A long timer. Plus some little bit of news about the Wyatt Six. And how much did Vegas pony up to help get WrestleMania here? We'll talk about that. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Join the Vegas Chamber today. Being a member of the Vegas Chamber sends a powerful message of credibility and that your business is connected to a larger community of organizations dedicated to ensuring Nevada is a great place to live, work, and do business. Joining the Vegas Chamber and becoming part of the largest business organization in Nevada has never been easier. Grow your business within your budget. Visit vegaschamber.com and join today. Sponsored by the Vegas Chamber in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
In Nevada, anything that goes into the storm drain goes directly to our local waterways, which can pollute Nevada's lakes and rivers. Nevada is the driest state in the nation, and we must work together to preserve our limited water resources for future generations of Nevadans. Here's some waterway wisdom so you can help do your part this spring. Clean up vehicle leaks and spills. Scoop your dog's poop, bag it, and discard it. Apply fertilizers and pesticides sparingly. Avoid sprinkler runoff. Don't litter. Secure trash in bins. Keep contaminants out of our storm drains. Use waterway wisdom. And remember, only rain should go into the storm drain. Join us in preserving Nevada's waters for future generations by visiting lovenvwaters.com and following us on social media. This message sponsored by the Nevada Department of Transportation, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hey Nevadans, prescriptions can be expensive. Let the Array RX discount card be your solution. Now available to all Nevada residents. Simply sign up for free. Show your pharmacist your digital card and save money. Receive discounts of up to 80% on certain medications. There are no age or income restrictions, and it only takes a minute to enroll, so you can get back to doing what makes you happy.
This message funded by a grant through the Nevada Department of Health and Human Services, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Ready for your next vacation? Not so fast. Before you hit the road, remember these healthy habits to keep yourself and others safe and sanitary. Wash your hands after using the restroom, before eating and after blowing your nose. Sanitize airplane seats and tray tables. Sneeze or cough into a tissue or your elbow. And avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth with unwashed hands. Lastly, make sure you're up to date on all your routine vaccines, including the COVID-19 vaccine. It's also important to get tested when necessary, such as if you develop COVID-19 symptoms before, during, or after travel, if you'll be traveling to visit someone who is at a higher risk of getting very sick from COVID-19, or if you're in a situation with a greater risk of exposure during travel. Pack these tips on your next adventure. And remember, travel safely, Nevadans. This message is sponsored by a CDC grant through the Nevada Department of Health and Human Services, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
You're pregnant, and no matter what you do, no matter what you try, you can't stop using alcohol, drugs, or tobacco. But no matter how lost you are, how far along you are, it's not too late. There's always hope. And there are many safe places that can help you stop using. In Nevada, pregnant women are given the highest priority for substance use treatment. Low-cost treatment options may be available so you and your baby can get healthy now. If you or someone you love is pregnant or thinking about getting pregnant and using alcohol, drugs, or tobacco, visit SoberMomsHealthyBabies.org or call 211 to find help today. SoberMomsHealthyBabies.org also has resources for healthcare providers, friends, and family. If you want to help someone who's pregnant and using, visit SoberMomsHealthyBabies.org or call 211 today. Sponsored by the Nevada Division of Public and Behavioral Health and in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
1015 FM KDAWN.
You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
And we're back for the final segment of the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 1015 FM. The talk of Las Vegas. It is the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment. We are very excited. What a great show. Anthony Bowens, Kevin Von Erich, and next week, David Penzer, and as long as everything goes okay, Will Ospreay. Lord knows who else is going to pop in because the gang's going to be in town for Double or Nothing. Once again, get your tickets at AEWTix.com. And NXT Battleground's going to be here too over at the UFC Apex. So you might want to check into that. Should be an awesome time over there. As the stars of WWE will be hanging out at their Their sister company's pad right across the street from us just about. So it should be a great time. Check that out. But I want to talk about somebody who has been in WWE for 20 years. And a lot of times when these contracts come up, yeah, we know, well, Becky's, I don't know if she signed her contract yet, but we kind of know she's staying. We knew generally Drew was staying, Seth Rollins was staying. But this person, I don't know. Should she stay or should she go? We're talking about Natalia. Natty Neidhart, Queen of the Cats. And I'm just going to put my 2 cents in. Does Natty have a pretty good gig over at WWE? Yes. And I think Tyson's still over there too. Her husband, Tyson Kidd. But should Natty make a change? And my answer to that is a wholehearted yes. Yes. Natty, and I know she follows me on Twitter too, and you've done your time. And I know that she's a staple over there and everybody loves her. But I'm tired of seeing her lose over there. I'm tired of her not getting the real love that she deserves. If she walks into AEW, Tony is going to push her to the moon like she deserves. And I just feel like, he's respected the Hart legacy, with Owen and everything else. I mean, could you imagine with the Owen Hart tournament if she got a chance to be in that thing? I would love to see her show up. I think it said 2 weeks, so she couldn't show up or Double or Nothing unless they gave her a release. But I think she would be a terrific addition to the AEW women's roster. She deserves an opportunity to be able to go out on top, because I'm going to tell you right now, the way the WWE women's roster is set, she's not getting that chance. It's not going to happen. Free Natty. That's what I say. So look, and I know that she is set in there and she's been there forever. But just like Adam Copeland and some other people, Bryan Danielson, take the chance. Look, and she signs a short-term deal. She can always go back. It's not like WWE is going to say, oh, you can never go back. I think they'd understand. So my vote is go to AEW and have a great time. Get pushed to the moon and be a goddess over there. That would be a lot of fun. I would love to see her as AEW Women's Champion, because it would happen. It better happen if she goes over there. So that's just me. Wyatt 6. Did you hear about this? You've seen all these QR codes, but we have kind of a little speculation on who this Wyatt 6 is going to be. And right now, kind of looking at, people like Joe Gacy and Alexa Bliss, Eric Rowan, Dexter Loomis, of course, Bo Dallas. A pretty interesting group. So we'll see who ends up being in the Wyatt 6, but they're getting ready to let that fly. So that could be pretty exciting to see who ends up being in the Wyatt 6. Also, in WWE news, Drew McIntyre looks like he's going to get another shot at the world title at Clash of the Castle. So that'll be fun. Will they take it off Damian Priest and let Drew finally win the world title? Depends how ready old Punky Brewster is, I think. That could be fun. And then, some locally, we got some interesting news about what happened with Las Vegas, that they shelled out from the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority. They put out $5 million sponsorship dollars to bring WrestleMania to the city. Lisa Motley, VP of Sports and Special Events for the Tourism Group, is expecting 180,000 fans to be in Vegas for the weekend. Of course, that's April 19th to 20th next year. We'll be at Allegiant Stadium, rocking that out. Should be a great time. Saying that WrestleMania 41 SmackDown Raw will be at an MGM Resorts venue, which will probably be the MGM Grand Garden Arena, would be my guess. And they will be using the Las Vegas Convention Center for the WWE World Conventions area. So it's about as big as it gets. Should be a lot of fun. So thanks to the Convention Center for shelling out $5 million. And that is going to do it for us. An outstanding show. I want to thank all of you for tuning in and listening. Big thanks to Kevin Von Erich and Anthony Bowens for joining us. Oh, we will see you guys next week. It's going to be Double or Nothing weekend. It'll be a long one for me, but a fun one. Cannot wait. And hopefully we'll see you guys at all the Double or Nothing events. Should be a blast. Follow us on X at Mark Hoke Show, Facebook the Mark Hoke Show, markhokeshow.com. Download this podcast at markhokeshow.podbean.com. And, of course, subscribe to us at Mark Hoke Show, the Mark Hoke Show on YouTube. We'll see you next week, everybody. Have a great time. Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show, and visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join The Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.